And we have the Tier 6 battleships. So, off of the rip, we have the Colorado. 16-inch guns, super heavy AP. Okay accuracy, that's not insane, but it's okay. You have, I think Colorado doesn't have the same heel as North Carolina and Florida, but it's a decent heel. But I mean, and you can obviously are great at the Dreadnought Shuffle, the king of the Dreadnought Shuffle. But man, oh man, this thing eats damage because it's a standard type at Tier 6. Most other navies of the world had moved on to more modern versions of said ship, of their types of ships. Don't worry, footsteps in the dark generation. Yeah, I just want to get copyright struck. Yeah, Colorado. 16-inch guns are nice for overmatch, but you don't have the rail guns. You're not as accurate as NC. Okay firing angles, but I mean you're covered in 25 millimeters of armor. You eat damage wherever you go from any type of shell. And yeah, you have a torpedo belt, but I mean I believe it's only like 27 or 37%. It's not good. It's kind of poor. It's better than the NC in terms of torpedo protection, but it doesn't have as good of AA or main gun accuracy. So I think all in all, Colorado is just C tier. Could be B, but it's all right. Colorado's kind of a struggle to grind through at first, but it does teach you the American battleship playstyle, and it's having the long damage control party can be a saving grace sometimes, but it does teach you when and where to use your damage control party. NC. This is a tough one. She's either S or A. Easy S or A. 9 16-inch guns that are relatively accurate. You say B tier? She has a faster she has an average, if not slightly below average reload. So you're going to be reloading slightly faster. And you have 9 16-inch guns. Like, yeah, you get some 25mm armor because every ship in the tier, except a few, I believe, have 25mm bow and stern plating. You have not an improved repair party, but you do have a better heal than most other American ships. You obviously have better speed. You have insanely better AA. Yeah, I mean, but Noriko, tell me what, like, if any of these ships turn broadside, if any battleship here, excluding the Scharnhorst and Gneisenau, but we all know about those, if any of these ships here turn broadside, tell me they wouldn't also be punished as well. That's the thing. Like, if a Sinop is caught broadside, that thing blows up. If a Nagato gets caught broadside, that blows up. If a Nelson gets caught broadside, that blows up. So it does have a problem of getting citadeled easily when caught broadside, but that goes for basically any, if not all, battleships at this tier. But knowing how to angle and knowing how to keep your momentum and knowing how to just like do a dreadnought shuffle and just angle your shells in so that they hit the belt, then this thing really works. You do have poor torpedo protection though. I believe you only have 19% compared to the Colorado's like 27 or 28, somewhere in there. So be careful with torpedoes. But yeah, I think I think she's a good A-boat. She's not insanely great, but she's above average, but she's also pretty strong too. But it's just, the inconsistency of her guns. She is not the same as she is on PC. We all know this. This is a known fact. And having the lower torpedo protection kind of stabs her in the back when dealing with destroyers. But easily a great solo carry boat, great pick and ranked. Yeah, easily A tier. Florida, D tier. Only 356mm main guns, only 14 inches. You do have 12 of them, but you reload in like 34, 35 seconds, so you still have to deal with the suffering of Tier 5 Battleship reload. And you don't even get overmatch. You have an exposed citadel. You're covered in 25mm of armor, so you have the same armor scheme as North Carolina, except even worse because you have a raised citadel for some reason. You have okay, but just you don't have the overmatch, and you have the slower reload, and that can really put you behind other ships. You know what? No, I feel like Colorado's above average. Colorado's average, but like slightly above. Florida's below, if not down. I love my games in the Florida, but you have to think of this like carrying in a solo game. You reload at 35 seconds in this thing versus like 30 or sub 30 in these two. These two have bigger guns that reload faster and have about the same. Yeah. I have to be fair though. Florida does have pretty good AA. And having a 12-gun broadside is pretty nice. But it's not all the way an F, but it's like right there. It's like on it's F tier. It's on the outside looking in. Yeah, you're right. It does underperform in Legends. It does. It does have the same heal, which is nice, but it just the AA and the heal isn't enough to bail it out. It's just not. Especially in a world where just overmatch exists, this ship just struggles. Because against balanced targets, all you can really do is just fire HE. Because it's like, here's the question we have to ask ourselves. If she catches a target broadside, what can she do that one of these things can't do? Like, if a Florida catches an NC broadside versus an NC catches an NC broadside, like, what's the difference? Shell volume? That's it? That's it. Yeah. Florida is just rough. You're trading reload and some, like, technically an armor scheme. Just and the worst thing is you still have the same torpedo protection as the North Carolina. You have a 19% torpedo protection, I believe. Yeah, Strausbourg is a much better choice. If you're going with low caliber BBs, that was one point I was wanting to make. If you're gonna go with a higher, like lower caliber battleships, the French are a better choice because you either have the better reload booster, or you just have 16 guns. Yeah. KGV. I feel KGV only has 356mm main guns in giant boxy turrets that are very easy to disable, and she has very poor firing angles, but she has pretty decent armor. She has a great armor belt, obviously 25mm balanced turn, but she has a great belt. She has improved repair parties, even better than North Carolina's. Pretty okay AA, and just absolutely insane HE DPM and great short fuse AP. I think KGV is probably 8, but I feel like that would make me. Do I dare? Do I dare? Do I dare? Because there are 2, maybe 3 battleships that we would put in S tier. Yeah, we do it. Yep, we do it. KGV, she may only have 14-inch guns with poor firing angles and easy to knock turrets, but holy shit, that HE DPM is insane. Improved repair party is POG. Yeah, KGVA. Like, here's the thing, Mikasa. KGV might have shitty armor, but all the other battleships also have 25mm plating, so it's not just the uncommon exception. Like, yeah, she's a giant superstructure, but you know what else has a giant superstructure? The North Carolina does. The Colorado does. The Duke of York does. The Nelson does. The Sinop. No, not the Sinop. We all know the Sinop's bullshit. But it's like, it's not alone in terms of just like having that. And the improved repair party is great for dealing with HE spam, flooding, and pen damage. Of course, if you all know Citadel damage, it does have a protected Citadel. It is an underwater Citadel. Yeah, KGV is a great pick and ranked. KGV is a great ship. KGV is a great boat. Not even gonna deny. KGV belongs to me. Duke of York. I think Duke. It's hard because she trades a repair party for Hydro. And she is not really a brawling battleship or like a close in quarter battleship. The North Carolina's an S tier, yeah. We dare do it. But Duke of York, I just, is it worth losing a repair party just to get Hydra? Is it worth losing a repair party just to get Hydra? I do not think so. And she has the same thing as KGB: 356mm main guns, giant boxy turrets that love to get knocked out, poor, if not like below average, if not poor firing angles. It's all right. Like, obviously the AP is nice, but I just don't think it's worth losing that heal just to get Hydro. I don't think that puts her above or in the same tier as the KGV. That's just me though. Hood. Hood is a rough one because she's not one of my personal favorites, like not one of my top 10, but she is easily a great ship that I love to play. Yeah, exactly. I'd still take the KGB over the Duke of York. But Hood is a battle cruiser, which has battle cruiser accuracy. She has 15-inch guns, which means she can overmatch 25mm plating. So she can absolutely shred things, or basically any battleship when turned battle in. Plus the short fuse AP just absolutely liquefies cruisers, but in all reality, you shouldn't be firing AP at battleships that are angled. You should be firing your HE. Now, I could be mean and say I'm going to put Hood in C because her historical camo doesn't show her in two pieces. But when we look at the facts, she has poopy AA, but I mean, AA is a joke at this tier unless you're the North Carolina or certain other two battleships. She has decent speed. She has the largest health pool of all the battleships. She also has access to improved repair parties. I think Hood's a good B. Hood's a good B. She's a giant target that turns like a truck, but she is really accurate. She has, in a kiting position, the ship can be extremely powerful. That's how you should play Hood, is in a kiting position. Yeah, she's not insane like North Carolina or Sinop or other, or Nelson, but she's very strong, very, very strong. Yes, but I mean, here's the thing, Noriko. In up tiers, like, tell me, these ships in up tiers probably would suffer the same as Hood, if not a little more. Yeah, Hood, she's an okay pick and ranked, but if you can get into a kiting position and just fire HE against bound targets and shoot AP against broadside, just you have a fun time. Nelson, S tier. Super heals, 16-inch guns with bullshit HE, short fuse AP that just absolutely touches battleships that when they go broadside. Hell, like, you could probably get like 17, 18k volleys on broadside tier 7 battleships with AP in this thing. And your HE can absolutely just nuke their superstructures and set double, triple perma fires each time. Like, yeah, you could say, oh, I'm a freeboard, oh, I'm a race citadel, but she has I believe a 380mm main belt that can just bounce shells. So if you know how to angle and just bounce, just like you should be doing in all of these battleships, you don't even need to worry about it. You just have to worry about overmatching on the nose. So just make sure you hit your shells on the belt, not the nose. But I mean, super heals, bullshit, 16-inch Royal Navy teabag dispensers. Absolutely a great ranked pick. Just all around a great boat. Love the Nelson. Nelson is a great boat. Love the Nelson. We all love the Nelson. We all know deep down, Nelson's a great boat. Lyon. Yeah, Noriko. Yeah. She gets overmatched, but you know what else get overmatched by the 380s? The North Carolina, the Duke of York, the King George, the Hood, the Colorado, the Lyon, the Florida. She's not alone in being overmatched. Overmatch exists. Basically, all except like 3 or 4 battleships overmatch each other. But yeah, like B. Yeah, she has the 330mm main guns, which are pretty nice. But yeah, like she's even more of a shotgun over range. But she can absolutely pelt cruisers and battleships that turn broadside. And she still can always, if she needs to like angle, she'll always have those 2 turrets for her because the front 2 are aligned forward and the rear 2 are aligned backward. So she'll always have at least half of her firepower downrange. But it just, having those giant French turrets, she can easily lose her guns. Nope. Anything with 15-inch guns can overmatch 25mm plating, Noriko. Like, yeah, the 406s will also overmatch as well. But anything 380mm and above will overmatch 25mm plating. So, yeah, Nelson's not alone. Yeah, it's no sweat. But yeah, Lyon, the 16-gun broadside is nice. It is very nice, and we love seeing it on Mead Build Monday. But in solo carry potential, do I dare put it below Colorado? Do I dare put this boat below Colorado? Because I kind of feel like it, because those turrets, they can be knocked very easily because they're giant targets. She's a battle cruiser. That's something we have to keep in mind. That is a that is something that not a lot of people know of. The Lyon class was, I believe it was, she was she was a forward design of the Normandy class battle cruisers. So she is not a battleship. She is a battle cruiser. Yeah, she's just a Colorado. Basically, she has 16 guns, and yeah, they're only 330s, but she has 16 of them. But she is French battleship, so she suffers from HE like damage over time, and just oh boy, this ship eats damage when caught broadside. But I mean, most ships of this tier, if a battleship gets caught broadside by another battleship, we all know what happens. But yeah, I think Lyon is a high C, low B, high C, low B. Better ships to play. They're just better ships to play. Oh boy. Now we get to some controversial ones. Gneisenau first. She has 380s, really great belt armor, plus turtleback, great secondaries and torps. But her main guns are they're consistently inconsistent. When they hit, these suckers hit. But this thing can, it suffers from the German battleship tech tree. Just, I love the Scharnhorst and Gneisenau. I love them so much. I love brawling. I love getting up close, up next to an enemy, just watching them squirm as my secondary shred them to pieces. But solo carry, this ship excels at brawling, but if you eat 1 or 2 torpedoes, you lose like a half or like a third or a half of your health that you can't recover back. Like, these ships excel in the late game. That's when they excel. They need to kill the HE spammers off first and then brawl in the late game. Don't just rush in with your secondaries blazing, because you will just get farmed into oblivion and torped into oblivion, and you will be absolutely pointless to play this ship. These ships are the best in the late game. Scharnhorst and Gneisenau in the late game cannot be beat, but just yeah, their guns are so inconsistent. Yeah, if Gneisenau was more accurate, she'd easily be a B. But the inconsistent main battery just kind of holds her back, because she suffers from. Well, she doesn't suffer from Georgia syndrome. Well, it's technically Gneisenau syndrome. Let's be honest here, but just having a low amount of guns that are consistently inaccurate I really want to put Gneisenau in B. I really do, but if she can't make it to the late game, she's kind of weak. Exactly, she is very weak to HE spam. That is one thing that everybody should know. Having impenetrable armor is pointless against consistent HE spam and fire. So, yeah. Scharnhorst, I feel like we can put it B tier because she has a faster reload. She's a little bit better at dealing with destroyers. Plus, I mean, like the faster reload kind of helps. But other than that, she's just Gneisenau with faster reloading, smaller caliber guns. She is more of a battle cruiser than Scharnhorst is. Because she's more maneuverable, she's tanky, she's got great secondaries and torps, and she has, like, if you go Scharnhorst accuracy build, I mean, kind of not really building into what she's for, but I know, Dorigo, you might hate me here, but thinking about solo carry, Scharnhorst is above Gneisenau, but yeah, exactly. She has more guns, which means more chances to hit the target. Now, of course, you shouldn't be going for Scharnhorst sniper build. That is, if you're going for a sniper build, why not just play NC or Sinop? But this ship is going to be better at brawling because just the more guns. Plus your G-Wagon rifles. No, this ship is a G-Wagon, let's be honest. It is the G-Wagon at tier 6. One of the best premiums in the game. Probably one of my most played ships. Yeah. Not that much better than Gneisenau, but better. Only by a little bit, though. Better ships to play at the tier, but she's alright. Nagato. Oh boy. Oh boy. Having 410s is nice. And she has roughly the same accuracy, if not slightly worse than Colorado. But she does have pretty good firing angles. Plus her AP secondaries can shred things when close. It's just rough because she suffers from Colorado's, like, not really insane accuracy, but not really great accuracy. This is rough. Because Colorado's is okay. Colorado's above average. Nagato, though, she basically is just the carbon copy of Colorado, but for the Japanese Navy. Yeah, I think Colorado and Nagato both are in C tier. They're slow. They're not fat. Like they don't have the speed. That's something that's critical. Having speed and agility. And these ships, the Colorado has at least decent agility. Nagato, it's eh. It's eh. Not that much worse, but it's eh. Yeah. Kind of lower on the lower side for HP pool. Like the 410s are nice. Like I said, they're roughly the same accuracy as Colorado, but in a game where speed and positioning is key, these ships have to choose where they go like 5 or 10 minutes in advance. They have to plan 5 or 10 minutes in advance because it will take them that long to get to that position. And yeah. Like if you stick any of these, yeah, if you stick either of these in a good position, they're all right. But man, whew. Yeah, I would rate them higher, but we all know. We all know. We all know. Yeah, but NC has more guns, better AA, and better maneuverability. So, okay. And I'm taking into consideration not running gyrating Jobit. So, like, this is without the minus 10% speed buff. So, ships will actually go at the speeds that they are supposed to go at. It just has a lower HP pool. That hurts. That hurts. Because I think Nagato, with the first hull, only has 50,000 HP, which is less than some tier 5 battleships. So until you get that second hull, this ship can be a struggle to play because it's just the low HP pool. I'm not going to put it above Colorado. I can't put it above Colorado. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm sorry. Ashitaka. So she has 10 410s. She is a first hull version of the Amagis. Her broadside is really nice, and she obviously has the AP secondaries, but man, talk about a floating broadside, or floating hunk, like a target barge, if there ever was one. She's a giant target like Hood, but even worse, because she's a battle cruiser too. I don't think she has great firepower, which is great for a battleship, but all she has is like a slightly above average speed because she's a battle cruiser, and the 10 410s. Yeah, I know, Noriko. Exactly. It also has the 3 turrets in the stern instead of the instead of the 3x3 with A and B turrets. It has 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and 5. So no. Yeah, I think we can easily these two can go up here because Noriko does have a point. NC is about the same speed. Like if you take gyrating drill bits off, she'll be faster, but these ships at least have consistent or somewhat more consistent accuracy than Gneisenau, and I think that can also slide them above there. Like yeah, they're target barges if there ever was one, because I mean their freeboards are enormous, but yeah, Hood has the most HP at the tier. I want to push Ashitaka in B, but you have to know what you're doing. You can't just sail around broadside with all your guns to bear. Solo carry potential, okay, like she's a B, but in ranked she's kind of a low C. So she'll be like in between. She's like a high C. I think that's where Ashitaka will be, a high C. Ignis, Purgatio, and Ragnarok. Do we even? Well, I'm not trying to have Spartans in Noriko. I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to look at it, the facts. Like, yeah, Ashitaka is a battle cruiser, but the majority of her firepower is in the aft, meaning she either has to make a broadside turn to bring it to bear, or take up a kiting position in a battle cruiser, but it's not like she's going to be that much faster than other battleships. So, taking her out of position to bring the majority of her firepower to bear can kind of hurt when positioning. So, I'm not hating on the Japanese. It's just looking at the ships in this tier, there are better ships to play, and they just so happen to be the British and American ships. But I think we can all agree Ignis and Ragnarok are D, if not F tier. Because they are Nagatos with B hull, so they only have 50,000 HP. They get main battery reload booster. Their guns do reload pretty fast. Their guns reload in like 23 seconds. They have like Bismarck levels of reload on their main guns. I think that's better. Because, like, yeah, they're 410s, It's like Florida has a lower gun. Florida just has a pretty good broadside. She's just a worse Lyon. I don't think she's that much worse because her AA is pretty decent. Because these things have like non-existent AA. Non-existent AA. These ships are all cosmetics. That's all these two are. That's all they are. Their commanders are nice for certain like meme builds, but other than that, these ships are floating hunks of junk. Floating hunks of junk. Okay. Sinop. I'm going to talk about it. Sinop's S. Sinop's S. Even after the nerf. The nerf was to her group. That's actually rough, though. Sinop used to be S tier. I gotta hydrate real fast. Let me grab my water bottle. Sinop. Sinop. I want to put her in S. But after playing her after the nerf, that nerf to her grouping was noticed. And her alpha. Sinop used to be complete S tier above everything else. That icebreaker is still really great, especially when in Bowen. Sinop is probably the king of playing in like a Bowen or slightly angled position, because that icebreaker can really save. But it's all about damage control management and knowing when and where to use your limited damage control parties. Well, Noriko, that's because you've never faced a Bowen Sinop with an island protecting its broadside shooting at you from like 12 kilometers with will to rebuild on. I do think after the nerf, still has the second highest damage pool and greater armor. That is fair. Russian battleships, they have that insane armor and the bullshit accuracy under 12 kilometers. Now, yes, we know she was recently nerfed, but just having that high HP pool and tanky armor, like yes, she still is going to suffer from HE spam, but she has basically very little superstructure to farm. Yep. She has very little superstructure to farm. Like, obviously, if she's caught broadside, she's going to blow up. But, I mean, most ships at this tier, it's going to have similar situations. Not going to be as bad as Sinop or Nelson, but, you know, that's if somebody doesn't know what they're doing or they've just been caught in a drive-by. But, yeah. That nerf to the grouping was noticed. So I'd say high A, low S. High A, low S. Still a great ship. Very tanky. Very, very hard hitting. Great HP pool. You just have to position yourself correctly. This, like the Russian battleships, are the king of positioning. If you position themselves correctly, these ships are monsters. If you position them incorrectly, these ships are the easiest ships in the world to destroy. Yeah. Poltava, D tier. The ship is inconsistent with the main guns. It is a floating citadel, very easily overmatched. It's a giant target. I mean, the freeboard. Like, if you just look from the bulkhead to where the front of the bow is, from the bow to the forecastle, this ship is just an absolute barge. It's a great icebreaker. I'll give it that, but just inconsistent on the main guns can kind of hurt her. Is Poltava is inconsistent. C or D. C or D. Limited damage control parties. Obviously the one less heal, but you know it still has an icebreaker. Yeah. It's a high D, low C. Because she only has 356, but it's the same caliber as Florida. Yeah, you don't get into the nuke, but you have to think about the caliber. It's one of the two. It's one of the two. if Poltava's guns were more consistently accurate, I'm not saying the ship is inaccurate, I'm saying it is not consistently accurate. I could see it being in mid-sea. Like, just look at the facts. She has 356mm ray guns. Yeah, I agree with that, Chuck. It's a high D, low C. High D, low C. In the right hands, it could easily be like a high C, low B. But just average, like, think about this. You are an average player playing solo in either ranked or standard. What are you going to pick based on this tier list? Like, what are you going to pick of the ships in this pool? Poltava is not going to be in your top 5, let alone top 10 choices. Because of gun caliber and maneuverability. High D, low C. I'll put her ahead of Florida to please you. Okay. Strausbourg. This ship has grown on me. I do have to admit. Exactly. You pick a random ship because you potato anyway. Yes, that is correct. Strausbourg has grown on me because she is covered in 25mm plating, so she is overmatched. Like, obviously, it's the main belt, but even on the outside of the main belt, that is 25. But she has great speed. She has relatively okay accuracy, and she obviously has main battery reload booster. I forget, does she get speed boost? If she does get speed boost, she's a high B. Because being able to sit bow in or slightly angled with all your firepower to front is very nice. Especially if you can create a lane between two islands. That's the way you want to play the French battle tankers. Just, she does have speed boost? Oh, yeah. She doesn't have a high caliber gun, so facing bow and targets is going to be a very rough experience. But pretty decent accuracy, main battery reload booster, and speed boost. Like, you use the speed boost early to get to your position. You hold your ground, maybe fall back. So that way you're not playing too aggressive, but you get to your position early. You hold your position, then you push in after you've killed them all. Yeah, exactly. She's fast. So she's a fast battleship. My personal bias is going to take over. Because it's low caliber, but fast velocity, hard hitting AP. Obviously, if you lose a turret, you lose a lot of you lose half of your firepower. But yeah, I think she's an easy B. B if not A. B if not A. If she had, I know this is asking like a dumb question, but if she had a higher caliber, she'd easily be an A. But that low caliber, she's a cruiser killer. That's what the Strausbourg is. Strausbourg and Dunkirk were created to counter the Deutschland-class heavy cruisers. So, very agile. Yeah, very fast, very agile. Great cruiser killers. Very, very good cruiser killers. No, she doesn't have speed boost, but I mean, even then, she still is very fast. Like, she's faster than most ships at the tier, which is great. Thank you for correcting me, Choki. But yeah, I just think with the speed and the ability to, like I said, she's a cruiser killer. I said this already, but these ships are cruiser killers. French ships are cruiser killers. They're battle cruisers at heart, so they're designed to kill cruisers. Yeah, exactly. She doesn't need speed boost. So against battleships, unless they turn broadside, you're gonna struggle. So it can hurt when dealing with bow and targets, but you just use your speed to just get out of there and position themselves to get on their broadside. So yeah, the armor and her low caliber kind of hold her back, but other than that, easy, high B, low A. Exactly, that is true. She does suffer from overpen syndrome, sadly. Yeah, I think that's it. I would move Florida down to F, but 12 gun broadside is pretty nice. Plus, you have decent AA, and Like, these ships have, yeah, they have 410s, but their guns are inaccurate at best. They have low HP. They have non-existent AA, and they have no armor. No, well, like for the battleships, they have poor armor. So yeah, Ignis and Ragnarok. I'm sorry, the meme ships have to go down. Poltava and Florida at D. I think we all saw that coming. Lyon, Gneisenau, Ashitaka at C. They're okay. They're not great. They're okay. Hood, Duke of York, Scharnhorst, Strausbourg, Colorado, and Nagato at B tier. Above average. Okay, like they're above average. Then we have King George V at A. Great HE spammer, but also really potent AP. Better heals too. And then S tier, Sinop, Nelson, and North Carolina. I think we all could have agreed on those on the top 3, if not top 4. Yeah, that's it. All right. Thank you all for watching the Tier 6 battleships, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.